It's just after 3 o'clock in the morning, February 13th, the year 2000. A storm rages through Shelby, North Carolina, the kind that rattles windows and presses people deeper into their beds. Inside a modest home on Oakcrest Drive, a 9-year-old girl slips quietly from her bedroom. She pulls on a backpack, opens the door, and steps out into the rain. No note, no goodbye, no explanation that makes any sense. By daylight, she will be gone. By weeks, the country will be searching. And by decades, the questions will only deepen. Tonight, darlings, we follow the footsteps of a child who vanished into a storm and ask how Asha Degree could disappear without a sound. Welcome back to RIP, where we do a deep dive into unsolved murder and disappearance cases. The ones that linger, the ones that haunt, and the ones that still demand answers. I'm your host, Linzy LeGron, and tonight we're holding space for one of the most devastating, heartbreaking, and baffling disappearances in American history. I want to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude to our show producers, Chicken Wrap Entertainment. None of this work would exist without them. Their belief in this show, in these stories, and in honoring victims with care, dignity, and integrity is something I hold in the highest reverence. This case asks for patience, empathy, and attention to detail. So I invite you to lean in, trust your instincts, and engage with me as we move through it together. Let's begin. Asha Degree was 9 years old, 4th grade, small for her age, known to be quiet and shy. She lived with her parents and older brother in Shelby, North Carolina, a close-knit community, a close-knit family, and this is the type of town where routines mattered and neighbors really looked out for one another. Asha was known widely as being rather obedient, cautious, a homebody. She was afraid of the dark, afraid of storms. This matters because what happened next defies everything people believed about her. Let's jump back to the night before her disappearance. It's February 13th, the year 2000, and it's Sunday night, a Sunday night like any other. The Degree family spends the evening together. There is a brief power outage due to the storm earlier that night, and Asha falls asleep on the couch uneventfully. She's later walked to her bedroom around 8:30 p.m. Later, her father checks on both children and everything is perfectly normal. No arguments, no discipline, no signs of distress. Nothing to suggest that by morning, Asha would be gone. You see, sometime between approximately 2:30 and 3:30 a.m., Asha wakes up. She quietly packs a backpack, and what she takes is deliberate. Clothes and personal items, no random objects. And she leaves the house while her family sleeps. Outside, it's cold, it's dark, and it's storming. This is not the behavior of a child fleeing in fear. This is intentional. Meanwhile, multiple motorists later reported seeing a small figure walking south along Highway 18 in the early morning darkness. Think about how unnerving it would be to see a 9-year-old walking alone in the middle of a storm in the dark. I think I would be just like this next driver, because one of the drivers actually turns around to check on her, and the child runs off the road and into the woods as the vehicle approaches her. This detail is critical. Asha was not the type to approach strangers. She clearly fled from them, which raises a chilling question. If she wasn't running from someone, what was she moving toward? Maybe someone she trusted? For about a year and a half, the case stalls. There is nothing known, they can't find anything out. And then a construction crew uncover a backpack buried in a wooded area roughly 26 miles away. It is confirmed to have belonged to Asha. Inside are her items, but also, oddly, items that did not belong to her, including clothing from another child. The backpack had clearly been intentionally buried, and someone did not want it found. This discovery fundamentally shifts the case. After all, a 9-year-old did not walk 26 miles. At some point, it's clear that Asha entered a vehicle. Now, as with any missing child case, investigators initially examine the family closely. And this is protocol, not an accusation. But law enforcement quickly and publicly clears Asha's parents. There is no evidence of abuse, no history of neglect, no signs of violence in the home, and her parents remain consistent, cooperative, and visibly devastated decades later. This trail clearly leads outward, not inward. So let's discuss some of the theories in this case that don't exactly hold up. Was Asha a runaway? This is something that investigators nearly always point to in disappearance cases. But in this case, Asha being a runaway was entirely unlikely. She was known to be afraid of storms and darkness. She was known to be very cautious around people that she didn't know. And she was not known to have any desire to leave her family home, certainly not in the middle of the night, in the middle of a storm, heading out to complete darkness. So the second theory, was this an accidental death along the roadway? Also unlikely, as no remains or clothing were ever found along her walking route. Another theory is, was this an abduction from the home? Also unlikely, because there were no signs of forced entry, no disturbance. Obviously, the rest of the family was still sleeping in the home. And so, dispelling these other theories leads investigators to face the most unsettling possibility of all, and that's the grooming theory. When we talk about grooming today, our minds often jump to the internet, chat rooms, social media, private messages. But in the year 2000, that world barely existed. Asha did not have a personal computer. She did not have unsupervised internet access. She was not known to communicate with strangers online. So if grooming occurred, and many investigators believe it did, it almost certainly happened in plain sight, through familiarity, through routine. You see, in that era, grooming typically came from someone a child saw regularly, someone who felt safe or neutral, a school-related contact, a church or community figure, a coach or a volunteer, a friend of the family, someone who did not raise alarms. Asha's behavior that night supports this theory. She packed deliberately, left quietly, and walked with purpose. She avoided strangers who were trying to help her. This suggests direction, not panic. And direction implies trust. For a child afraid of storms and darkness to override those fears, the motivator had to be powerful. Not excitement, not rebellion, but reassurance and maybe a promise. There is one lead in this case, and it is about a vehicle. So there is no confirmed witness who saw Asha enter a vehicle. That distinction matters. So where did this lead of the car come from? Well, years into the investigation, law enforcement disclosed publicly interest in a dark green, early 1970s vehicle, often described as resembling a Lincoln Continental or a Thunderbird-style car. This lead emerged from tips and follow-up information that surfaced long after the initial search. Police have never stated that this vehicle was used in an abduction. What they have said is that it may be connected. And why this matters? Again, Asha's backpack was found far from her walking routine. She likely entered a vehicle voluntarily, and if she did, it would have been one that she trusted. The vehicle does not suggest force, it suggests follow-through. Let's take a look now at the community impact of Asha's disappearance. This disappearance changed Shelby forever. As you might imagine, parents tightened their routines. Children stopped walking alone. Even storms carried a different weight. And her face remains a fixture on posters, billboards, and anniversary. For the Degree family, time did not heal, it froze. This case is particularly difficult because of what has never been found. There have never been any reported remains of Asha being found. There have never been any confirmed sightings of her after that morning. And we're over 25 years later. There has never been a definitive suspect, and that absence, in and of itself, is its own form of cruelty. So my theory is that I don't believe Asha ran away. I believe she was responding to something specific. A plan, a promise, a person she trusted. The timing, the preparation, the distance, this all feels orchestrated to me, not impulsive. And the most chilling thought of all is this: whoever influenced her understood her fears and knew exactly how to override them. Before we close tonight, I want to speak directly to the adults listening: parents, grandparents, caregivers, teachers, coaches, anyone who plays a direct role in a child's life. Cases like Asha Degree's break our hearts because they remind us that children are trusting by their very nature, and sometimes that trust can be exploited. But there are ways we can protect the children we love without filling their world with fear. Here are a few practical tips. First, build a relationship where children feel heard. Talk with them, not at them. Encourage conversation about the small things, so when something big matters, they already know you're safe. Second, teach them about trusted adults. They should know it's okay to say no to any adult who makes them feel uncomfortable, and that they can talk to you about anything, even if it feels awkward or small. Third, make safety part of everyday conversation, not with scary language, but with clarity. Their body is theirs, and their voice matters, and they never owe anyone silence. Fourth, know their world. Know who they spend time with, where they go, who has access to them. Safety lives in awareness, not suspicion. Fifth, encourage agency, not fear. Instead of don't talk to strangers, teach, if something feels wrong, you can leave and tell me. And finally, model healthy boundaries. Children learn what safety looks like by witnessing it, by watching us respect consent, by watching us listen without judgment and walk away from situations that don't feel right. Here's the truth. We can't protect children from every danger, but we can raise them with confidence, connection, and clarity. Safe children are connected children, not hidden ones. So stay involved, stay open, and stay in dialogue. Lastly, darlings, if you have any information related to Asha Degree's disappearance, please contact the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office at 704-484-4822. Even decades later, tips still matter. This case breaks my heart. I can't imagine, for the Degree family, this legacy of terror. Asha Degree was 9 years old. She deserved safety. She deserved answers. And until the truth is known, her story remains unfinished. Thank you, my darlings, for walking this quiet, rain-soaked road with me tonight. This episode was brought to you by Chicken Wrap Entertainment and crafted with astute care and skill by Spo at Face Off Visuals. Until next time, keep your lanterns close. And as always, rest in peace.